point, you guys should know how it goes. The stream, it always starts rough. It always starts rough. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. How's everybody doing? How is everybody? Ghost of Tsushima 2? Okay, so I missed the entire PlayStation State of Play. When was it? 2 days ago? I was in LA. The one time I'm not home. So I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen the Ghost of Tsushima trailer. That was like the only big thing that I really saw. Was there anything else that was good there or no? Oh, you know what? I saw they're remastering Horizon Zero Dawn for whatever reason. So if anybody, I don't know anybody that's hyped for that. Is anybody hyped for that in the chat? There's no way. Should we pull up the trailer? We'll pull it up. I wasn't gonna make it a video anyway because apparently it's just a teaser trailer. When the official trailer drops, I'll make it an actual video. Ooh, it's 3 minutes? It's 3 minutes. Okay, hold on. Alan Wake 2 DLC? I never played either one. Are they good? I saw Alan Wake 2 like gameplay of it and there was like real life people in it and I was like weirded out. But I've heard good things, so maybe I'll check it out. Batman Arkham Shadow? Is that the VR one? Is that the VR Arkham game? I'm handsome? Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Okay. I got 2 things going right now. Is this one, right? Ghost of Yotei, almost 4.4 million views. Okay, are we ready? Hey, it's not sus to call another man handsome. Alright, are we ready? Here we go. Haven't seen this yet. So. Oh, there is gameplay in here.
We are beyond the edge of Japan. People come north to disappear.
Yo, is the volume good? Is it good? 1603.
But you are hunting. And now,
Jim's dead in the ground.
Here is after you. Still think you're the hunter?
GG. This is a woman, right? She about to be tough. Sucker Punch, welcome back. Oh. Yeah, they never miss with the visuals. They never miss. Can we see a little bit of gameplay? A little bit? Oh, was that a little mini blade? That looked like mine back there. Nah, no way we get a wolf companion. Is that an instrument on her back? Yeah, you know we there. You know we there, day one. That didn't really... Here we go! Okay.
PlayStation.
Hold on. Hold on. What? 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 Yo, no, this is crazy. This is wild. Are we replacing a bow with this? That would be sick. Wait, did it say what year? Okay. Next year. Wow. Wow. You know we there day one, y'all. You know. You know. I hope Jin's in the game. Bro, Jin... When did the first one take place? 1400s? This is... What'd they say? 1603? So unless Jin found a... Yeah, 1603. Unless he found like an immortal drink, he's done. He's done. Oh yeah, the Batman one. Batman Arkham Shadow. Is it the 1 month ago, or was there a new one? The 1200s. Wow. So 400 years later. Was there a was the Batman Arkham in the... Oh, okay, 1 month. Okay. What do people think about this? Batman Arkham VR game looks like it's more passionately made than... Okay. Okay. Rocksteady left a bad taste in my mouth earlier in this year.
This rat cult spreads through Gotham like a plague. I have to stop it. Even if it consumes me.
He sounds similar to Kevin Conroy.
The system has failed you. Are you not angry? Fight back!
It's the freaking bat!
We aren't afraid of you! The bat dies tonight!
What do you mean we're not afraid of you? What do you mean? What do you mean?
It's the freaking bat!
We aren't afraid of you!
You're an idiot!
The bat
And then he hits you with a three-piece.
Jim, this Rat King could be anywhere. A face in the crowd, a foot soldier in his own fanatical mob. So how in the hell do we find him?
Targets are all city employees.
Oh my god, that's Jim Gordon.
Civil servants, public officials.
You could have been more than a symbol. You could have been a god.
Look out!
If you don't calm down, someone's going to die.
Alfred, we tried it your way. Now we do it mine.
Something Something big's going down tonight. We repress our rage, our fears. It feeds the shadow deep inside us.
You're everything that's wrong with Gotham! I'm done holding back!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to keep pausing. Did the guy that's holding the electric whip just say that Batman is everything wrong with Gotham? Look what's in your hand.
It feeds the shadow deep inside us.
You're everything that's wrong with Gotham! I'm done holding back!
Okay. Maybe look within. Maybe look within. Only on MetaQuest 3.
I can bring the Rat King to you.
Who was that? Only on MetaQuest. What the fuck is MetaQuest? What is MetaQuest? How much is that? MetaQuest 3. It's only 430 bucks. Jesus. Okay, 300. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, VR gameplay always looks silly to me. I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, maybe I'll watch a playthrough. Maybe I'll watch it. Alright, I got these two lined up. Has anybody watched these two? These two videos? These are the two that I found. What's gonna be the next game series? Lies of P. Lies of P. Trust me, I would love to not play a Souls-like game for a minute, but you guys seem to like those. So we're in for another one, I guess. I think I'm recording the first one either tomorrow or Saturday. The second one is good? Okay. Okay, so you know what? We can just do this.
You play.
Actually, is there anything else that you guys want me to react to before we start this? Is there anything else? Oh, you know what? You know what trailer just dropped today? Last of Us Season 2. Y'all excited for this? You guys want to watch this one real quick? The Sonic movie, the third Sonic movie? I haven't seen either one. Alright. I know him. He was in Beef on Netflix. Great show. Great show. I love this guy. And he looks exactly like Jesse. This is him and Dina are probably the most accurately, except for Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright was actually the actor of the game. In the Yo, that actually looks good. That actually looks exactly like Abby. I saw a lot of people hating on his casting. And to be fair, I wasn't like on board with it. I wasn't like 100% with it, but that looks over this. But that actually doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad. Live action Toph revealed for Avatar? Really? I didn't see that. Who? Oh, I like that. Is she blind? Is she blind in real life? I'm joking. Could we see Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 series on the channel? Because I've already played them, probably not. If I was to replay games on a channel, it would probably be... I would probably stream it. I'd probably stream it. Imagine they redo the Ellie interrogation scene. Which one? Yo, Manga Mask, what's up, bro? What's up? Yeah, I didn't even watch the live action Avatar. I did not care for it. All right, are we ready? Are we ready for these? What do we think? Anything else? Are we missing anything else? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, you ready?
Based on the popular Chinese novel Journey to the West, Black Myth Wukong is mostly based as a sequel, which includes retellings of the original source material with a few changes here and there. As the first Unreal Engine 5 game that actually runs well, you play as the Destined One, searching for the 6 relics scattered around the lands that one day you can restore the Great Monkey King to his former glory. But if you're like me, you were watching these cutscenes and going, what's happening? And that is precisely why I've created this video, to fill you in on the entire story of Black Myth Wukong, covering the main plot as it relates to Sun Wukong. First, we'll introduce the Monkey King himself, followed by his introduction in the game. Then we'll get really deep into the lore, exploring Sun Wukong's story in Journey to the West as it's described and shown in-game, culminating in what may be the most important to you, the player, your story. Yes, you, the Destined One, as you scour of the land, facing increasingly challenging foes to ultimately save Wukong. Or so you think. Without further ado, grab your 17,550-pound shrunken-down pillar staffs, squeeze those seed sacks, and return to Monkey, because you are in for one of the coolest stories I've ever had the honor of making a video about. Welcome to Black Myth Wukong.
Yo, what was your favorite boss fight in this game? I think mine was Tiger Vanguard. That fight was so tough.
Before we get into the start of the game, I need you to understand a little bit about Sun Wukong. He was a stone monkey, meaning he was birthed out of a goddamn rock. He was real smart and came to understand many things, learning languages and shit, and also he kind of learned how to become immortal, like, several times. The Celestial Court, which was...
Okay, that doesn't make... I've heard many people say that. What does that... How do you become immortal several times? Like, he has layers of immortality? That doesn't make sense to me.
It was like a bunch of gods and stuff in heaven didn't like that he was learning all this crazy high-level shit as just a mere stone monkey. They fought him, but ultimately upon realizing they couldn't really kill him, they sealed him under a mountain for 500 years. But eventually a monk, that the game refers to as Tang Monk, was tasked with a mission to grab some scriptures from the heavenly lands to the west and take them back to where he derived from. Why did he need to do this? I honestly have no clue, but...
So he needed to, in order to spread Buddhism to the east where he was supposed to take them. I don't know why Buddha couldn't do it. Okay.
It's pretty important because Sun Wukong found himself meeting this monk as Tang needed an assistant, or in other words, a disciple, to aid him along the journey, because bro was like super weak on his own. Tang Monk acquired basically a celestial device straight out of the Saw movies because it had the ability to, once securely bound to someone's head after they put it on, could literally allow the spellbinder to utter some words and force the thing to shrink, causing immense pain to the wearer. Tang Monk did this to Wukong and basically enslaved the monkey to escort him. So with that out of the way, we're going to take a big ol' leap to what many of you have probably seen in the game, the prologue, or the point where you actually play as Sun Wukong. I'll explain its significance, and then we'll touch back on these early chapters and go through some of the most relevant parts of the journey to the west that Sun Wukong joined Tang Monk and the others throughout. Fast forward to after the events of Journey to the West. The story picks up with you playing as Sun Wukong, now prepared for battle against what seems to be some towering giants or gods. One Dragon Ball Z cloud ride later that screams, "We're on UE5," with colorful scenery and high-fidelity foliage until we land on a large, clouded arena. Look at these volumetrics. A smaller army donning ritualist...
Bro, do you guys know how many people told me that Wukong, or that Goku is based on Wukong? I'm not joking. I probably got at least 80 comments. At least 80. Of people just saying the same thing. It was so funny. And then I said it again in my last, was it the ending video where we got what is it called? The cloud thing that you could ride on. And I said, "Oh my God, he's literally Goku." And then I said that I know that he was based on Wukong, and somebody still said that Goku is actually based on Wukong. I know! Yo, Peach, what up?
Masks resembling avians aims their spears towards Wukong before we get some neat exposition to start us off and a scripted fight, as per usual with this genre of game. After some witty dialogue from Wukong, we learn that these giants, or rather the opposition in general, are out to kill his kind and destroy his mountains. A black hound descends from the giants, only to be interrupted by Erlan, the sacred divinity, who has a third eye, by the way, that kind of looks like a certain, this guy's eye is known in Chinese mythology to perceive through deception. But before you can really think about that, you're thrown into a duel. You fight for a while, but eventually Wukong is like, "Hey,
welcome in.
Why don't you fight me in the woods? Because it's like really fucking bright up here, man. I can't see shit." He turns into a bird to head down to said favorable circumstances, but Erlan isn't having any of it. Sun Wukong is defeated by Erlang and the celestial armies, and ultimately he turns back to a stone monkey.
Yeah,
he
just
wanted to return
win.
to the simple, humble life of a cocaine-fueled monkey. Ah, the simple joys of beating people up with sticks. Now, after getting a sweet talking to by this old monkey man, we, the random...
Holy shit, new information in the chat. Did you know that Goku is based on Wukong? Actually, are you being serious? Wow, I didn't know that.
Bozo Destined One, which is apparently a kind of spitting image of Sun Wukong, conveniently looking just like him, decide to follow this old monkey's guidance to travel westward and seek out the 6 senses of the Great Sage, which are theorized to be needed to free Sun Wukong from his fate, materializing him out of the rock. Once these 6 relics are returned to Mount Huaguo, where he rests, our wise guy says that he may yet rise again. Whether that means Wukong's gonna get to live life out as an epic monkey dude doing monkey stuff is not clear. With that said, you, the Destined One, step up and you're like,
he ate the peaches of immortality.
I'm your guy. And so your journey to the West begins. Except wait, before we can get to your said journey to the West, remember how the game starts at the end of Sun Wukong's own journey to the West? Well, like I said before, we should cover that first to provide the real backstory of the regions that you later encounter along the way as the Destined One. So, without further ado, grab yourself some snacks, sit back, and let's
I still don't know who the fuck that baby is.
A young kid named Jinchi was wandering around in a dark forest one fateful night when he found a giant black bear guai. This black bear gave him some money and basically showed him greed. He went on to become a monk. That was sit back. Your encounter along the way as the Destined One.
I'm sorry, this is gonna happen a couple times.
Grab yourself some snacks, sit back, and let's get into it. A young kid named Jinchi was wandering around in a dark forest one fateful night when he found a giant black bear guai. This black bear gave him some money and basically showed him greed. He went on to become a monk that was obsessed with blankets, or in other words, kasayas. All the while, he grew up within this monk society of Guanyin Temple and retained the bear's greed within him. He eventually became an elder monk, fittingly titled Elder Jinchi. I don't know what witchcraft he was doing with these blankets. This is like some Aladdin shit going on. Now, around the same region as Blackwind Mountain, if not nestled literally within the forest themselves,
he was the secret boss.
Groups of Yaoguais, like snakes, wolves, and of course there was, the bear guai. The wolves had a really confusing amount of characters, if I'm gonna be honest, and one of them was this scrawny little guy that wanted to roleplay as a human. So after he asked the bear guai to turn him into a human in sort of appearance so he could live with the monks, the bear guai accepted and let young Guangji try living with them. All the while, the snake motherfuckers saw this happen. They were pretty competitive against the wolves, so they were like, alright, let's send the most depraved one of us to go and one-up Guangji and make sure that he doesn't win over the favor of the bear guai, because everyone likes the bear guai. He just has lots of riz to go around. But regardless, the snake guys sent in Guang Mao, who was supposed to keep track of Guangxi and hopefully come out on top of earning the respect of both the monk society and potentially Daddy Bear Guai. Guang Mao did not have very much riz and failed every single speech check with Elder Jinji, but then an opportunity arose that would change everything for both Guang Mao and Guangxi. I don't know how to pronounce these, I'm sorry. You see, one day, by the time Elder Jinji was like 270 years old, somehow still younger than Joe Biden, this had a knock at his temple gates. A guy named Tang Monk, who was on a horse, and his disciple at the time, Sun Wukong, or what appeared to just be some random bozo monkey as far as they were concerned, introduced themselves to Elder Jinji, and after some discussion, the elder found out that they had drip. Specifically, a Kasaya that he became obsessed with. I don't know what Daddy Bear Guai did to him to make him so fucking horny for these blankets, but he just really wanted it. Guangxi, who's already in great favor of Elder Jinji, told him flat out that he had a plan to steal this blanket for the elder so that Guangxi could get more Elder Jinji praise. But you see, Guang Mao wanted to get that sweet Elder Jinji praise too, so he was like, alright, hold up, to build on Guangxi's idea, let me use fire and burn the two f***ers that have the blanket so that when you borrow it for the night, which they actually just agreed to, they'll never return in the morning to get it because they'll be dead. Elder Jinji, infatuated with the potential for this brand new blanket, agreed to this idea, and for the first time he was like, Guang Mao, you are very based. I like you, buddy. You might just be my next pal. Fast forward to when Guang Mao was gonna kill Tang Monk and Wukong. He sent a gust of wind with some flames, I guess, and it completely missed the duo, instead lighting the actual temple on fire and basically killing a bunch of the people inside. Elder Jinji was distraught while everything was burning, as much as he had his blanket, but riddled perhaps with grief or just sick of being 270 years old, he himself. Just Elder Jinji was no more, kind of. I mean, he became like a demon.
Disciples come, I hear travelers approaching my temple carrying you treasure.
Anyway, from then on, Guang Mao and Guangxi, both basically being responsible for the burning of the temple, decided to just live in the mountains.
Oh my god!
again,
That's
kind of where this old tale concludes. Hopefully that was somewhat coherent and you could kind of understand it. I had to piece so many different pieces of information together. Regardless, that takes us to chapter 2.
He should have appeared in all 6 chapters, by the way. Yash, Michael Davis, peace. Have a good one. You know, Erlane and Wukong are friends. Yeah, I don't know how that's literally possible. I've heard multiple people say that. I don't know how that's possible. I hope he explains it. Bear Revel, what's up?
In a land far to the west resided the kingdom of flowing sand. There were just some regular people that lived here in this desert, which had a peculiar situation nearby. See, for some reason the sun, like the literal fucking sun, set in the west in the actual ocean, making a really horrible vibration, I guess. It was really uncomfortable for the people and literally dangerous for the babies. At the same time, the people worshipped Buddha, and the god gave them a gift in return. This drum that could actually nullify the sounds of the setting sun in the Western Ocean. Over time, the king did not like how much Buddha began to grow in people's hearts because, I mean, you know, he seems like a pretty cool guy. At the same time, the king's ego was larger than that giant furry wolf's so the king decided, hey, I hate Buddha now, and he basically forced everyone to not worship him anymore. But Buddha didn't like that too much because then, whenever they next banged on the drums to, you know, deal with the weird sun vibrations, this giant fucking beetle appeared instead, erupting from the sands, slaughtering people and leveling villages in the process. This thing was a menace, and eventually, while the people and their leaders had basically no idea how to stop it, a yellow rat monk showed up. He was like a rat guai that had some serious drip. This rat guy somehow aided in the kingdom's armies in slaughtering the beetle, and the king was like, yo, I love this guy now, honoring the rat guy with the title of royal sage. While the sage stayed in the kingdom for many years, he whispered sweet nothings in the king's ear about how cool rats are, and eventually he got the king to do some really crazy shit because he went and enacted rat law. What is rat law? Well, it was this thing he issued known as the Rodent Reverence Edict, which allowed any rat guys from all around to come and just live in the city. Basically, no more border control, bro. Let them rat aliens in. The king's sons, which he had 3 of at this point, all felt a bit differently about this decision. Because the new rat law was especially violent, with the king making his soldiers capture or just like fuck up anyone who wasn't on board with it, one of his sons outright left the kingdom. The really dumb son, that didn't really have an opinion on anything, was just like, yes, papa. And the oldest son, who was really based, didn't like the rat law, but kind of continued to obey and stick around until he had enough and actually lashed out at the royal sage publicly, which he was promptly imprisoned for doing since he, you know, disrespected did his father and the Sage. So after causing a shitstorm worse than you could ever witness in the Taco Bell bathroom, Mr. Manipulative Rat Bastard, the Sage, somehow wasn't done. If rat law wasn't bad enough, whatever happened next caused everyone in the kingdom to basically turn into rats, including the previous king and his 2 remaining sons. After the royal sage was satisfied with his rat-tastic activities, he left the kingdom, which by now is just a bunch of rat people, and he found a person who was on the path to Buddha, or in other words, a bodhisattva. I don't think I said that right. He became this person's disciple, and together they founded a temple in Yellow Wind Ridge, which was seemingly just outside the king's kingdom, but still kind of nearby. Somewhere around this time, the royal sage had a run-in with Sun Wukong. The sage had a tiger follower called the Tiger Vanguard who casually kidnapped the Tang monk, and Sun Wukong, came looking for him. When he did, he actually ended up killing the Tiger Vanguard, leaving his 2 sons behind before rescuing Tang monk and continuing their journey together. And that pretty much concludes most of what we know about this whole tale, at least for that time being, until many years later when the royal sage actually stumbled upon one of the 6 relics, which were, split off from Sun Wukong after he turned into a stone monkey. It was likely after this that the sage decapitated his master, using his head as a vessel for the relic. I don't know how that works or why he needed a head, but we're just gonna go with it. The royal sage also began to go under the new title of the Yellow Wind King and basically ruled over the desert lands from then on. So chapter...
Okay, that was why I had no idea. That guy just turned everybody into rats? You know how pissed I would be if I was just a regular villager. I wake up one day, I'm a rat? Oh my god. I'd probably end it. I'd probably just end my shit. What's the next gaming journey? I am playing Lies of P next. Lies of P. It was between that, Dark Souls 3, or... I'm not gonna say it. Actually, IGN really tried to screw this game. Yeah, I see a lot of people hating on IGN about this game. Did they give it a bad review? I don't watch IGN. I don't watch IGN like that, so I don't know. But yeah, I saw everybody hating on IGN for this game because apparently they were hating. Good luck. Okay, is for anybody that's played Lies of P in here, is Lies of P... On a scale of 1 to Bloodborne, where does it rank? Or is it harder than Bloodborne? Rod Kaz, what up? What up? In Buddhism, going from human to anything non-human is basically humiliating to the point... Oh, yeah, okay. So I wasn't off. IGN gave it an 8 points off for it not being diverse enough. What do they mean, like, diverse? There were so many bosses in that game. I don't think any boss was recycled, except for Tiger Vanguard, but I don't... Oh, it's not even about the game. It's about human... Okay, wow. This is a Chinese game where we play as a monkey. What are they talking about? The main character is a monkey. It's not the review that has some false accusations toward game science calling them sexist. Jesus, man. Oh my goodness. The reviewer only made it to chapter 2 before publishing. How is that? Like, I feel like who made this game? The dev team should like sue them for that. You should have to beat a game for you to review it, especially on a channel like IGN where there's millions of followers. I would be so pissed if a dude played 15% of my game and was like, "Yeah, it's ass. There's not enough ethnicities in here." Yo, that's crazy. That's wild.
3 is, of course, once again another tale of greed, betrayal, and somewhere in there some monkey business, with Sun Wukong and Tang Monk having involvement one way or another through their pilgrimage across the West. Fittingly enough, this land is known as the New West, a mountainy and fairly snowy place. But at one point...
low key, Chapter 3, I think Chapter 3 was the best chapter. What was y'all favorite chapter in this game? I think it was Chapter 3 for me. 3, 4. Oh, what was 4? Actually, I forgot what 4 was. Chapter 5. I kind of flew through Chapter 5. 4 and 2. I think mine is 3, 4, and 2 were my favorites. Did you see what IGN did today with the Game of the Year votes? No, what'd they do? I only played the demo, which has the first 3 bosses. Yeah, I would say it's harder than the first 3 bosses of Oh, shit, okay. Damn. Damn, I'm about to struggle tomorrow, man. It was designed to start slow, then peak at Chapter 3, and then slow down to the end. Okay, well then they definitely accomplished what they were trying to do. Chapter 3 is a really complete and make another chapter deleted lots of elements. Yeah, I heard there were supposed to be like 12 chapters, and they just didn't have enough time. But considering how big this game is, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be able to finish it now. 13 it was 13, yeah. So I hope that's gonna be the DLC. Have I heard the Assassin's Creed Shadow drama? Yeah, that is one of the most degenerate conversations I've ever seen in my life. It's horrible. And now it got delayed to like February, I think, so the conversation is just going to extend till then. So that's awesome.
Tang Monk having involvement one way or another through their pilgrimage across the West. Fittingly enough, this land is known as the New West, a mountainy and fairly snowy place. But at one point it may have just been known as Mount Lingshan, because calling it the New West seemed to be something that only happened often in correlation with a particular man. His name? Yellowbrow. This dude was a monk and was basically your average Redditor. I'm seriously not kidding. To add insult to injury, he really looked like one too. Why was he a Redditor? Because he loved to debate people. He had some really strong opinions which seemed to go very much against what Buddhism was teaching.
Actually, you know what? I did not like that fight. I did not like Yellowbrow. Actually, maybe I did like Chapter 3 because they made me fight Captain Wise Voice too. I hated that one. That one was horrible. And then Yellowbrow was a little underwhelming. I think maybe I liked it because it was so long, and there were a whole bunch of other side quests. I think Chapter 3 had the most side quests. I think that's why I ranked it that high. No, I'm not playing New Game Plus. I haven't started
really
yet.
Looked like one too. Why was he a Redditor? Because he loved to debate people. He had some really strong opinions which seemed to go very much against what Buddhism was teaching. Him and his peer, a guy named Jinchanzi, had many Redditor conversations, and once they had a conversation about truth, that being the primary law of the universe, Yellowbrow argued that truth was actually the acquiring of ecstasy, basically, or indulging in desires. They had a real debate, going back and forth about the purpose of enlightenment, the definition of truth, and while Jinchanzi adhered to the more traditional values of focusing on the importance of pain for enlightenment and not partaking in pleasures, Yellowbrow was like, bro, what is the point of pain if not for the existence of pleasure? Saying, in pain, one finds revel, and in revel, pain. Without both, there is no redemption. For those of you who aren't interested in this mildly above surface level college philosophy class discussion, here's the TLDR. Yellowbrow thought his ideas were the best, and even went as far as to try and prove to Jinshanzu that he was right by somehow becoming a Buddha and getting powerful as shit, only to turn himself into this weird anteater thing washed up on the shore, all for the sake of a goddamn Mr. challenge. Basically, he made his blood and fat conceal pearls and riches beyond imagination. He was like a treasure trove of excitement for people, and to show Jinshanzi that the real truth is that humans will indulge in desires one way or another no matter what, thus said philosophy being what should be pursued as a result, he washed up on the shore of a poverty-stricken village with the most desperate people imaginable. They were starving, their children were dying, and so on. And he just kind of, washed up and showed them his riches, like he was Jimmy walking up to a homeless man with 10 grand in his hand, and just like Mr. induced sudden wealth syndrome on random North Carolina residents, causing them to make horrible spending decisions in unhinged amounts of time, this dude induced the same thing on a bunch of starving villagers, but took it a step further, basically reinventing capitalism, until one day, this dude had a bright idea. What if I cut the guy open and take the shit for myself without trading with these other guys who found him first? So he did, proceeding to get bitch slapped, but seeing what that guy did, it sent everyone else into a frenzy, and basically they tore beached up Mr. Beast apart. The chaos went as far as to destroy the village itself, as everyone probably just fucking fought like it was Black Friday, and the next morning bro was looking like this. And then Jinshanzu walked up to him and they had a little chit chat, perhaps one final Reddit debate. It's actually oddly wholesome.
Once again, I proved it to you, Jinshanzu.
You chose a means to an end, not to a proof. You sow chaos in hearts just for the sake of winning. How absurd and pathetic.
If not for winning, why debate over means and ends?
Now, whether...
Yo, guys, fuck it. Should I just put on the Talk to a podcast? Are we down for that? What podcast number are they on? 3? Should we just tune into number 3? I'm sorry.
This creature is actually Yellowbrow or some manifestation of him or what, I have no idea. What I do know is that, to get back on topic with this region, Yellowbrow ultimately gained immense power and overthrew his master, this little monk guy that I'm going to call Melon Baby. So he overthrew him, took his identity, and started to wreak havoc, killing or enslaving anyone who dared to go against his obsession with ecstasy. Not the drug, just the feeling, I guess. Some characters, even members of the Celestial Court, like this dragon lady, ended up bowing down to him and agreeing with his philosophy, accepting him as their master. Others, like the third prince, who, by the way, was in fact the third prince of the Sand Kingdom we talked about in chapter 2, heard about Yellowbrow and was not cool with what he was doing. The prince took 4 captains with him, investigating the situation of Yellowbrow's dominion over the region, but ultimately the prince was captured, his 4 captains were brutally killed and disfigured into abominations, and the prince, in complete disgust with how he had failed his mission, blinded and deafened himself. Anyway, soon Wukong and Tang Monk had encounters with Yellowbrow, the extent to which we only hear a few things about. As Tang Monk seemed to be doing in this pilgrimage so far, he wanted to bow down to a bunch of statues and show his respect, but in the process of doing so, Yellowbrow somehow captured him. At least this is according to one of his other disciples, Zubaji, this adorable little guy. Soon Wukong may have, once again as he always seemed to do, saved Tang Monk from said capturing by Yellowbrow, and presumably years later, once Wukong was turned to stone and split his soul into the 6 relics, Yellowbrow himself got his hands on one of these relics. First, the Yellow Sage got a relic, now Yellowbrow. What the fuck is the deal with these yellow dudes? But if you thought that was it for the whole backstory section, oh, you have no idea, because allow me to introduce... Moving on from the snowy region, let's cover the tale of the spiders, the webbed hollow.
This plot was so messy. Oh my gosh, it was so messy.
A tale of heartbreak between 2 lovers and the events that led up to Tang Monk once again being captured. Oh, where to even begin? The gang, which is now composed of Wukong, Tang Monk, Zubaji, and this dude named Sandy, which has no significance in the act.
Yo, manga, don't call me weird because you don't see the vision, bro. Just say you don't see the vision.
Game arrive at a forest, presumably after everything that went on in chapter 3 with Yellowbrow and all that. Tang Monk wanders into a celestial bathing spring, taken over by 7 spider-guys. Tang Monk gets captured, Wukong finds out, becomes a bird, finds them bathing, and takes their clothes so that they can't escape without, being naked. Wukong, why did you do this? Bajia sees the women and has a Vietnam flashback to his past. See, at some point, Bajia was a normal dude, an admiral in the Celestial Court, actually. He met this lady that he fell in love with, but ultimately, he was banished from the court and turned into a pigwai. He still had feelings for this violet-eyed lady, but as you could imagine, if he's a pig, well, there's some problems.
Bro! Where can you put it? What are you talking? Bro, that's not what I'm... Okay. Okay. Good point, though. Good point. Good point. Black Myth Wukong or Elden Ring DLC? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
The lady with the violet eyes would eventually become a spider guy, though, so they're kind of both fucked up in the end. Getting back on track, Bajia finds her in the hot springs, and he's like, yo, and becomes a fish, and like maybe they fuck? I don't know at this point. I'm gonna be honest. I have no fucking idea what's happening anymore. Well, the spider guys run away and are humiliated because fucking Wukong took their clothes. Wukong and Bajia and the other guy save Tang Monk from being captured, and then ultimately head up to a nearby temple called the Temple of Yellow Flowers, and are met with the temple master, who was this 100-eyed Taoist.
Oh! Oh my god, just seeing him triggered something in me. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. No brainer for Black Myth. So the only thing that I have... Oh man. The only thing with Black Myth Wukong is that you really only have the spear. You only have the spear. In Elden Ring, there's so many different ways you can play that alone I think could make it better. But I love both games. Yeah, his hitbox was the worst one in the entire game. The entire game.
That had been locked away on a mountain called Purple Cloud Mountain, which kind of sounds like it was made up by one of these shady...
I just saw the Scorpion Lord for 1 second. I almost turned the video off. I almost turned it off.
Wukong tells Bajia to kill the spider guys as they try and escape. So he does, literally like slaughtering 6 of the 7.
Yeah, so we are watching lore. You know, I actually am understanding it a little bit.
When he gets the last one, he can't compel himself to do it because it's his past lover. So Bajia is sad. He leaves with Sun Wukong, Tang Monk, and Sandy, and that about does it as far as the main events go in Chapter 4. The Flaming Mountains were a perilous place. Long ago, some fiery bricks fell down from the court and made these mountains, like, permanently on fire, meaning that they had to be held at bay with some really powerful fans. The Keeper Boy, who was responsible for not letting something like that happen, was thus banished from the Celestial Court to become the keeper of the newly inflamed mountains. There was a Bull King, Yaogwai, that ruled over this land, along with his wife named Rakshasi. They had a son named Red Boy and a daughter named Ping Ping, though the daughter was born with a fox princess that the Bull King courted, not from Rakshasi. Red Boy also technically was birthed after Rakshasi drank from a river that just makes women pregnant because that water is just special. Anyway, long story short, when Wukong, Tang Monk, Baji, and...
Bro, you can't just say she drank semen water and then move on. That's... I feel like that's a lot of information that you could cover.
Special? Anyway, long story short, when Wukong, Tang Monk, Baji, and Sandy at some point made it to the Flaming Mountains along their journey, they realized it's a bit of an obstacle. They needed to pass the very on fire Flaming Mountain.
It can do the same to men? How?
And so after investigating how they could do so, Sun Wukong ended up stealing the crazy cool fan from Rakshasi. The Bull King, who was actually one of Wukong's 6 very good friends from during his worldly travels, was not cool with this. To add insult to injury, in all the panic and fighting that ensued, Bajia killed the Bull King's concubine, that fox princess who had birthed their daughter Ping Ping, and that made the dude very mad. Bull King turns into a kaiju, and then, oh look, the entire army of the Celestial Court showed up to back up Sun Wukong and ensure that Tang Monk could make it through this obstacle without any issues, so they chop off the Bull King's head, which isn't really a permanent thing because he's kind of immortal and can grow it back. And then ultimately Rakshasi gives up the fan as they're defeated. Wukong uses the fan and the gang carries on, not without obviously causing some major damage to Wukong's friendship with the Bull King, as much as their friendship remains and results in one of the saddest scenes in the game, which we'll get into later. Little editor's note here, I do want to just emphasize that while it seems like Wukong is really being an asshole here, he had to, in order to, obey the court and obey the mission that, he was on with Tang Monk. And one of the things that he says to the Bull King before basically just flipping him off is that he whispers, find someone to serve. It's like the only way that people like us can survive.
Find a master and serve the right. It's the only path left for the likes of us. Don't you understand, brother?
Bull King and Monkey were friends because they were alike. They were kind of against the higher-ups that wanted to take away their freedoms. And as much as Wukong was trying to sort of work with them for his freedom, ultimately, the court never changes. Tang Monk, Sun Wukong, Bajia, and Sandy do eventually finish their journey, though there are a lot of events that happen in between in the original source material that are not shown in game, at least not much. What we do know is that once the Tang Monk had retrieved the Tripitaka from the Buddha to the far west, those scrolls basically, which if you recall was his goal to get the scriptures, he finally returned them and the gang was rewarded, at least you'd think. The court was, well, really fucking mad at Wukong still for everything that had happened. This was never going to end well for Sun. Despite his master Tang Monk being safe,
My master. Safe.
his scriptures being sound,
The scriptures. Sound.
and all seemingly
Okay, so Wukong has 6 sworn brothers. Bull King is one of them, right? Who were the other 5? Did we see them in this game or no? What does Baji count as one? Really expect court in the DLC? Is this not the court behind him? Okay, so Baji's not one of the brothers. Okay. I'm gonna look up the last cutscene in chapter 6. Bro, they copyrighted me for playing this. I had to mute it in the video. Aren't they over here? I remember seeing him at the end. I can assume that they all died. Except for the Bull King and Wukong. Are we sure the Bull King is alive? At this point, he had a gash in his chest, and we just left him there. I mean, I guess he is immortal, huh? Never mind. At 3:15 and... Yo, you're on it. I think. These people? I'm not getting copyrighted, I'm sorry. $3.30. Okay. Wukong. Whoa. I forgot how crazy this was. Guys, the chat is a little delayed. Bear with me. Bear with me. I don't know how delayed it is. 3:48. Okay. Oh, these people? Oh. Is that a lion? And all of these people I can assume are dead except the Bull King. Damn. That kind of sucks. I hope they make an appearance in the DLC.
Only done as was more or less forced onto Wukong to be done. Well, he stood against immense power, and power that did not forget his past. They didn't trust him to just be free in his mountains and vibe with his monkeys. So that brings us to... Coming full circle, let's address the elephant in the room. How does everything we've covered so far of Wukong's journey ultimately lead to the beginning of the game and him essentially dying? Well, you see, the short version is that Sun Wukong, after finishing his journey with Tang Monk, gains immortality, and he also gets this title of victorious fighting Buddha by the Celestial Court. But Wukong wanted to just, hang out with his monkey buddies back on Mount Huego and chill. I mean, he had gained the title, did the stuff he vowed to do, and attained Buddhahood. What more could the Celestial Court really ask from him, right? Well, apparently a lot. They wanted him to continue to serve them, which ultimately he didn't want to do any longer. If he served them, they could keep watch over him, which they very much wanted. But Wukong wanted freedom. Of the many friends and enemies he made in the court over his life, one who very much respected him, even if they were rivals at times, was Erlang Shen. With everything under consideration, Erlang and Wukong both knew that eventually the Celestial Court was going to come after him. He essentially could never escape his fate, and so Erlang and Wukong conspired for a big brain plan. Erlang would kill Wukong after sealing Wukong's memories in his third eye. The pieces of his essence would be spread around to the many characters we've gone over, like the Bear Guai, Yellow Sage, Yellow Brow, the 100-eyed Taoist, and, much to his dismay, one of Wukong's greatest friends, the Bull King. So secretly, this plan went into action, and that brings us to the start. You already know the deal, so let's cut to the chase. Sun Wukong fights the court. He loses. Somehow, despite being immortal, like really immortal, he actually...
Okay, so... Yo, We Rise... They didn't die. They just abandoned Wukong and ran away. And only the Bull King helped. Wow. Yo. DLC? What if we just go on a revenge tour? Just a revenge tour. 4 chapters. And we get the 4 people, or the four other guys that abandoned us, and we just mark them. That would be kind of sick. No?
He gets killed by Erlang, as was according to his plan. Maybe he was able to just allow himself to die, despite being immortal. But you might be wondering, why was this his plan? Well, you see, no matter what, the circlet thing that basically forever forced him to be a pawn seemed to only be hidden when he finished his task in Journey to the West. So he's been...
Wukong versus Kratos? From what I've heard, and this hurts me to say, Wukong is demolishing Kratos. From what I've heard. Unfortunately.
Basically still entrapped. This is suggested in the actual, cutscene in the prologue when, initially he doesn't seem to have the thing on, but then whenever he falls from the sky, it materializes back on him, which I'm assuming just meant that it was hidden before. But if Wukong died and then somehow split himself off into different pieces, as long as one of those pieces was his mind and it remained free, it could one day, in theory, collect all of the other pieces, deliver them back to him, and essentially converge, bringing Wukong back without the imprisoning circlet thing. Really overcomplicated, but maybe it could work. At least he seemed to think so. Also, Erlang having Wukong's memories stored in his third eye could allow a future Wukong, if it ever existed, to get all of Wukong's memories back, thus basically
that's
reincarnating.
why we had to... Okay. That's why we had to defeat Erlang to get the secret ending. I was so confused. I thought I got scammed when I first beat him.
Pretty neat, right? So Wukong dies, and the Bull King, one of his best friends...
Wait, is that why you guys are saying... that Erlang and Wukong were friends because he had his memories in his eye and he stored them so that he can come back? Yo, bro. Nah, this story is crazy.
Wukong basically becomes fully Stone Monkey once again, just as he had been initially before his birth. And now we fast forward many years, hundreds maybe? I don't know the exact passage of time, but it's old enough for this monkey, one of his descendants, to be old as shit. A bunch of his other descendants are hanging around, and of course, old monkey man sets you, the destined one, and fun fact, one of the relics of Wukong, his mind, to go and retrieve the 5 other relics, then return back to Mount Huego to theoretically revive Wukong. So without further ado, let's finally get into what you've probably been waiting for, the story of you, the Destined One. Starting into gameplay, you begin as a peach, just kind of chilling in the woods, located on Blackwind Mountain. Before long, you are met with variations of Yaoguai, of the lesser kinds. Wolf Scout, Wolf Sworn Sword, Wolf Soldier, you get the idea. And you bet furries will get the idea too. Like, come on, the first 2 bosses are big buff wolves. China is going to weep when they see what the internet does with these things. Nonetheless, if you're at all confused with Yaoguais, allow me to briefly explain them. As far as I understand, Yaoguai is a broad term to describe an abnormal or weird type of creature, generally often being demons. For example, you, the Destined One, are a Yaoguai, as well as Sun Wukong was, and like most of the characters in the story. If I'm wrong about that, please do correct me in the comments, but I just wanted to mention it because there are a lot of Yaoguais in this story. Anyway, after you meet this dried up hemorrhoid, the keeper of Blackwind Mountain, you start to learn about the various transformation abilities that you have, even unlocking new ones as you slay typically mini-boss type enemies. Some of these early transformations include the Red Tides, a dual-bladed flame-speared wolfman, where you become a big ol' Maui face boy that rocks your shit. Traveling through the first area is a breeze, but at some point you uncover what this mountain, and moreover this first chapter, is really all about. See, the game's pacing is broken down into segments filled with their own tragedy, with this first chapter being titled Black Cloud, Red Fire. The tale of the region revolves around the past, present, and future of the Guanyin Temple and the Yaoguai kings residing around it. You meet a variety of bosses through this landscape, most notably being Ling Juzi, the big werewolf with more girth than you could ever hope to attain. Then you got Black Bear Guai for everyone who really loved to romance Halsin in Baldur's Gate 3. God damn it, I swear I didn't write that, I swear! And Elder Jinchi, the most fucked up one of them all, surprisingly. According to the portrait description of Guangji, and if you recall from when we went over this region in Sun Wukong's journey, Black Bear Guai and Ling Juzi were close, even going as far as to grant a wish for the young Guangji to live amongst humans, to study them to become one by mimicking their mannerisms. The young furry was then sent to study under Elder Jinchi, of course. Elder Jinchi was the elder that resided in Guanyin Temple, hosting housing basically for all the Yaoguai alike. This blind motherfucker was entrusted to a Kasaya way back when, which of course, if you remember, resulted in the fucking place burning to the ground. You know the deal. Anyways, after we dominate Ling Juzi, our monkey moves forward and into the fucked up wilderness with skeleton Yaoguais and funny crows, killing a snake down the line until you meet a wise master capable of upgrading your gourd to suck in the spirits of your fallen enemies so that you can use them against their will, for example, like Mr. Big Headbutt Man. You're gonna see this old guy in basically every other chapter moving forward. After killing this guy, Guangmao, if you remember, pretty much just treats him as like a totally irrelevant character, we come across the next boss, White-Clad Noble. This edgy protagonist is both human and serpent. A Yaoguai, because of course everything is. Meeting everyone's racist uncle, this man kicks your shit in with strength only matched by the most insecure wife beaters, and then ultimately just screws off and flies away. Now, if you choose to find the secret boss just before the godlike physique that is the Black Wind King, you get to kill good old Jinchi. If you thought the boss before Guanyin's temple was a pain in the ass, oh, just you wait. This man loves his Kasaya blanket things. You'll notice everything around Guanyin in the secret location where you fight Jinchi is burned to smithereens, essentially a past memory, or what the game calls an obsession, which gives you more context as to the historical events that directly tie into your current objective, usually centered around the relic of the region. And speaking of said relic, the bear Guai has it. Specifically, when Wukong was killed, a pair of eyes was given to the bear. Though these eyes didn't appear to be Wukong's literal eyes, more of sort of metaphorical eyes, that being this bird form he used to transform into. Nonetheless, you, Destined One, need those eyes back one way or another, and you fight to the death to get them. You battle the bear Guai ultimately before he actually yields, and you acquire your first relic at long last. As a player, this is finally where you can learn a little bit about the past and what we already covered in previous chapters. But speaking of chapters, allow me to welcome you to a new one in the Kingdom of Flowing Sand.
I thought he was gonna play a song.
So fast forward to an unexplained amount of time into your journey, and we see you, Destined One, riddled with arrows in a rather hostile-looking desert canyon, as a headless monk plays a dope stringed instrument and sings this song about the history of the region as you're just sitting there like, oh God, please just fucking kill me already. He does you a favor and evaporates the arrows, restoring your vigor and determination to your incredible quest to find the remaining relics. Stand up, Destined One. you're not done. You continue your fight, finding your way through this new region, smacking more dudes with your epic staff, and upgrading your armor, your weapon, your lovely little heel sack thing, and hopefully meeting this adorable fox guy that's basically the closest thing to a drug dealer in these lands.
He creeped me out, I'm not gonna. Every time I had to go back to him, I was a little nervous.
It doesn't take you too long to come across this crazy motherfucker, the King of Flowing Sands, which, if you recall, we already talked about. But now you get to see this dude in the flesh, now of course having been a rat for probably many years. You also fight the second prince, the dumb one that basically just does what his daddy tells him to do. You can either kill the dad and then the son, or just the son, prompting the king to run away into a cave and summon his other son, the first prince, upon which his rat son finally says, fuck you to his dad and eats him up. Then you can choose to kill the prince if you want. Now, to re-emphasize what you probably already know by now, you're on the path to following in many of Sun Wukong's footprints, traveling to a lot of the same locations, hence why we covered them first so you'd have the backstory. If you recall, there's only one prince of the Flowing Sand King left, but he isn't here because he had left the kingdom, forever ago and actually gotten captured in the New West, which we'll get into in a bit. So you continue along your journey, fighting Yao Guais like the Tiger Vanguard, son to the one that Sun Wukong had killed way back when. And okay, this was honestly one of the first really challenging bosses. And if you've played the game for yourself, you'll see why. You're so fucking hard. Oh my god, he's dead.
You did such a good job reading his movements that time.
Guys, this shit took me 2 hours. 2 or 2.5 hours. I think this is still my favorite boss in the game. No. The 4 Heavenly Kings was just so hype that I would have to put that number 1. And then him. And then Tiger Vanguard.
That's right, Ned.
After beating him, the Headless Monk comes back to jam out and give you a new ability. More boss beating later, including some pretty normal enemies. And then you got this rock dude with actual rock ass cheeks. Ultimately, you meet Mr. Headless Monk once again, and you find yourself either fighting the end boss of the region, or if you're feeling like learning a bit more about the past.
Is Last of P really that hard? Is it really that bad? Isn't there a parry button in that game? If it's really that bad, I'm not going to record tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow is my birthday. Okay? I'm turning 22. I'm turning 22 years old. If any one of you calls me Unk in the chat, you're getting timed. You're literally getting timed and maybe banned. So I might not record that tomorrow. I might take a day to myself.
You can choose to explore the secret obsession, which, by the way, every chapter has. And in this one, you go to a distant window in time of what the desert looked like before the tragedy set in. This weird boar dude with unusually long claws kind of exposition dumps a bunch of knowledge, and you step into the past to reveal what the yellow rat was like before totally usurping.
Bevel, you're on thin ice. Thin. Very thin.
Power from the region. I don't know why he just wanted to rule over it so bad, but basically he was trying to gain power from the horrifying beetle that was terrorizing the kingdom. Sure, it had the side effect of helping the people by clearing the thing out, but the rat was doing it for selfish reasons at the end of the day. Your role in this obsession is to help kill the damn thing. And you do. Holy shit, this fight is fucking sick.
Great fight. Great fight.
So now you're definitely ready to fight the damn rat.
Who just put something in Chinese in my chat? I am not bilingual. I will put it in Google Translate though, because I'm curious. Can I copy that? How do I copy it? Guys, I can't copy. Oh, wait. This better not be some bullshit, dude. Great.
the present time, because hey, just like in chapter 1, going to the past allows you to grab a special item. In chapter 1 it was this blanket, thing that Jinchi was obsessed with, and in this one it's the wind tamer. Using this incredible item, you can absolutely destroy the yellow sage, no problem. So you find out the truth of how yellow rat sage took his master's head, and apparently according to the master, who was this headless monk all along, and whose name is Bodhisattva Lingji, the yellow sage stole Erlang's spell and snatched the relic, which I thought was already going to him, but that's besides the point. The Bodhisattva blesses you with the relic, Wukong's ears, which are represented by the fuming ears, this ocarina looking thing. And with that, you, the destined one, once you're finished looking around at this beautiful art piece, may move.
Jesus Christ, X. Yes, Keone, you can get mod. Does anybody want mod? Who wants mod? I need a couple in here, I think. I've never modded anybody before. Command block, where's sure, you can, I don't know. Keone, which one you want to be, bro? Managing? Okay. Jahi, fuck you, you're not getting mod. X, fuck you, you're not getting mod. Bear Bevel? Apologize for calling me dad's brother and I got you with a mod. Jahi, after what I've done for you, you've done nothing but comment brain rot on my videos for like 8 videos straight. You're not getting mod. X, type in English. You know what? Fuck it. I'll translate it. Sure. Sure, X. Sure. The sun shines on those who are worthy. We got fucking Aristotle in the chat. God damn it. Bear Bevel. Like I said, on thin ice. Thin. Standard. You're getting standard. Who else? Manga. You know what? Fuck it. This is the first time I seen you in the chat. I'll mod you anyway, dude. I'll mod you anyway. Alright, that's it right now. That's it. That's it! You know what? Fuck it. Keone, ban Jahi. Ban him.
Move on to a new region, a particularly cold one. Welcome to... This is the New West, baby. Right off the bat, you are introduced to Melon Baby, though not formally. In fact, I still don't know what this fucking entity is, because at basically no point in the game that I was able to find do you actually discover his name. Does it even have a gender? I don't know. Why does he like watermelon so much? Anyway, he's rather suspicious of the statue in this cold underground little section chamber thing. And he becomes a statue himself right before an enemy walks by, and you, who were in fact disguised as a statue all along, pop out and surprise your next foe. You then carry on walking through the...
Guys, Wolf and the guy that he just banned are my real life friends. For anyone that doesn't know, I talk to these guys every day. And Xmeta, that bastard.
This new, rather cold
Those
region.
three are my in real life friends.
With corpses of monks that just weren't cool enough to not freeze to death. And
you know what? Keone, ban or don't ban. Just time X for a minute. Just time him.
Fight a rather annoying macaque chief.
Yo, you asked for mod, man. You asked for it. Thank you. Thank you. Bombo.
which shows up multiple times throughout your journey. Then you're met by the Keeper of the New West, which is basically this region's version of Hemorrhoid Man. I'm honestly not sure which one is more uncanny. You transform into a bat, follow him to a lake, and then stumble upon, hey, it's Melon Baby, except key detail, this ain't the real Melon Baby. See, because if you look at that, his robes are yellow, which means that actually this is Yellowbrow, the fucking Redditor we talked about before. But instead of trying to convince you of how evil humanity is, he just tries to incapacitate you so he could put you in his lovely seed sack. Yeah, his seed sack. That's what it's called. But why did they name it that? That's almost as bad as naming my Ark series Ark Frozen Seed. Goddamn. Anyway, he sends the Yao Guai Queen Kang Jin Lung out of his bag, and after a dope fight, ultimately you're knocked into the frozen lake and captured. But instead of going in his special seed sack for whatever reason, you're actually just taken to what is more or less a prison known as the Pagoda Realm. And let me tell you,
fuck this level. Fuck this level and anybody that had anything to do with it.
This place fucking sucks. You want to know why? Well, if you played through it already, then you know the answer. But if you haven't, allow me to enlighten you on a particular game design decision. The Wheel of Dharma, this fucked up contraption seemingly constructed by Yellowbrow, spins in the middle of the circular prison, and eventually, as it passes a certain point, every time it does, you go Doomslayer mode, as does every enemy around you, and shit gets real annoying real quick. Nonetheless, along your journey, you discover the third prince of the previous region. Poor guy lost everything, and to add insult to injury, you just killed his rat dad and rat brothers. Though I'm not sure how much of his sanity is remaining at this point.
Those are his...
Who knows if that really matters to him. You find your way to the top, kill one of the prince's transformed and totally screwed up captains, which is a bitch to kill. This boss fucking sucks. Then you push onward to find that damn relic. Discovering this cool ancient temple place known as the Great Pagoda, you can't do anything yet because I think you have to come back in here in like New Game Plus mode or after completing like every secret ending of each chapter. Some of you guys can drop in the comments like how you actually do it, but ignoring the pagoda for now, you carry onward, eventually sneaking up on a rather bizarre scene. Kang Jin Lung, now in human form as Kang Jin...
Keone! With $1.50 in the chat. $1.50. I don't know what I did. Wait, did you not mean to donate that? Because it's too bad I'm keeping it. You're not getting refunded.
Star just trapped a lovable furry little guy that you may recall in a giant goddamn symbol. And after he sniffs a monkey, this happens.
This was very random, the giant turtle. Yo, you ain't lying, bro.
So yeah, you're on a gigantic turtle. You're on a gigantic turtle, and now it's time to fight this lady. Please, 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 just let me... Oh, I'm out of emails! Ah! Yeah! After you take out female 4, she tries to escape, but you're like, nah, get the fuck back here, we're not done, and you crash her into the symbol, killing her in the process. She's not breathing, bro.
Oh my god, did she die?
You want a fucking bet? Wait, what the fuck?
Did she die?
What? He's just beating the shit out of her.
He is dog shit.
7th round of the game?
You gotta go for it,
Oh my god.
Did she just say he's not gonna crack
That's genuinely
the symbol?
impressive.
You'll never crack the gold symbol.
Then a voice calls out.
Oh shit.
Oh wait, you piss off that dude.
Okay. Can I... What?
There's no way to undo a timeout.
Oh, he's
Bro,
so
you alright?
I want to just pet him on the head. Like he's tiny little fucking 5 pixels in it. Fucking Bajia is here. See, basically the old monkey from the very beginning told Bajia to assist you in helping acquire the relic. So he went here to the New West preemptively, and that's how he got himself captured. But the rake-wielding Pigsy is on the move again thanks to you, and hey, now he's your companion. Oh, he comes... Wait, he's just a fucking follower now? What? Dude, oh my god.
Shout out to Baji.
So cute. He's gonna rake my eyes out. So you and Bajia carry on, climbing up the mountain.
Guys, one in the chat if we're glad that Helios is timed out for 10 minutes.
Meeting Melon Baby again, but he's like evil Melon Baby maybe. I don't know if Yellow Bro can actually disguise himself as the Melon Baby with the blue robes, or if that's like just always the real one. I'm not really sure. But then eventually you make it to what I deem as the coolest boss fight in the game. It's not that crazy or flashy compared to others, but it uses one of my favorite themes known as "It Will Fit Me Just As Well." And holy shit, is this boss really cool. And my god, does this theme slap.
It will fit me just as well.
Jahi, I don't know what to... I think the chat hates you, bro. No, guys, he's innocent. He likes Diddy. Wait. Ben X. Give him 2 minutes.
You fight him twice in total, with the second boss being a bit harder than the first time round. Basically, the story behind this dude is that his mission in life at this point was to literally wait for you, specifically the Destined One, to arrive to the New West and be forced to run into him, where you two would fight to the death and he would carve your face off, wearing it as his own. My buddy brought up a good point though, which is that you're a little monkey guy with a little monkey face, so trying to figure out how exactly he would wear your face skin, because he'd have to like stretch it out a bit. But okay, anyway, at long last you fight your way through more bosses until you...
Oh. Bear Bevel is on a power trip right now. I can't time out or ban? Or you just want to ban... You can ban everybody if you want. Except Elise is cool.
You finally actually get to a kind of fake new Thunderclap temple, which is basically a phony rip-off version of the actual Thunderclap temple that the Buddha hangs out at the very, very far west. But inside this sort of mock temple, you find Yellowbrow himself, and commence a showdown long overdue. This gamer-gunked, fedora-wearing, Mountain Dew-drenched Redditor is in need of a beatdown, and that he gets... Except, uh-oh, you beat the shit out of him, but then he pulls out his seed sack and sucks you into it. Finding Bajia is already in there himself. Poor little guy got captured off screen. So you and Bajia fight for your lives against the Makaki chief in the seed sack, like a couple little sperms fighting for supremacy. Makaki chief, suck my fucking monkey nuts, bitch!
Is that
nuts
Irvin?
In mouth. Insert now. Monkey chew. Monkey nuts. Before, in the process of fighting the Makaki chief, you actually become the chief. Bushy eyebrowed Boogie 2988. Then
guys, Irv is another one of my real life friends. Keone, get him the fuck out of here. Ban him for 5 minutes.
Holy shit, that sounds really fucking weird when you put it like that. Then he puts you in this dollhouse thing with all these fat bastards, and while the game maybe expects you to go Doomslayer on them, I thought it was more funny to just kind of walk past. Like at a moderate pace. Monkey do, monkey see, monkey do, monkey commit genocide. I'm not doing it. Nope, I'm not doing it. Not
Guys,
doing it.
Is this what it's like to have power? Wow. Wow. I'm gonna start streaming more.
Nah, I think I'm gonna do my own thing. No, I'm not doing it. No, I know it. The game wants me to. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm a nice monkey. Ow. Then you get to the end and you fight him for real. This guy's an absolute cheater, by the way, if you didn't get that impression by now. By the end, you offer a real beatdown and bro finally drops his seed sack, transporting us all to the lake, I guess. And then his fat ass breaks the ice and he presumably gets swallowed by this big old fish guy that he had captured many, many moons ago. So this fish squid thing was the vessel for the nose of Sun Wukong. These relics in their vessels are becoming more and more confusing. Like, what does this weird fish thing have to do with Wukong's?
Oh my god, Groovy! Groovy! My friend! Yo, what up, man? I'm not gonna lie, bro. Groovy, you're getting mod. So, do what you want, to be honest. You can do whatever you want.
Because the fish are smelly. I'm a little flabbergasted with the connection here, but at the end of the day, at least, the vessels are used simply as what they sound like, containers for the relics. That's basically it. But with that, you get a short reprieve before your journey continues on to the next chapter. Opening to a POV of peeking through some cracks in a container being carried by 2 guards, you hear them bickering back and forth before they promptly seem to get knocked out. Bajia pops out of the crate, followed by you, the destined one, after a mysterious woman smirks and kind of just disappears into the darkness. Welcome to the village of Langxi. And trust me, it won't take long for you to find increasing amounts of cobwebs as you encounter different types of bugwise. This place is, of course, where the spiders and scorpions live, and the relic you need...
Type 1 if you want Isaac to stream Fortnite with his best friends. You guys got 1-1 in the chat. Nobody wants to see you guys.
Wukong's metaphorical tongue is around here somewhere. You and Bajia make it into the inside of the village walls, where you both transform into the pigs that had originally been carrying you, the 2 of you in, and met with one of the spider sisters. Your disguises are...
Bear Bevel, I can see if I could time you. I can see. Let's see. I'm timing you for 1 minute. He asked for it.
Quickly noticed. She sees through your shit, and uh-oh, now it's time to fight a giant spider. For some context, there are 6 sisters, which
Guys,
are...
am I a dictator? Oh, no. Am I running a dictatorship here? Fuck. Oh, well.
Basically the daughters of the Violet Spider, the woman that Bajia fell in love with way back when. Her daughters kind of seem to replace the 6 spider women that were killed by Bajia, as issued by Sun Wukong back in the day. You uncover rather quickly that Bajia is actually meant to be the cargo transported here, as the Violet Spider, his
you will not
lover,
get timed out
wanted
ever.
to get familiar with his seed sack and like lay her eggs in him and like eat him, I think. I'm gonna be honest, I think she just wanted that pig dick. Anyway, you kick the second sister's ass, and then she runs off, and before leaving shoots Bajia with a needle that makes him like really want that spidusi. So he runs off after her and leaving you behind, and then you fall into a fucking hole. Wait a second, this kind of looks like... Just like Arc Aberration, this underground cave system runs worse than a dude with no arms, no legs, and no head.
So no head.
You march onward at your less than desirable FPS and nearly pitch black gameplay and fight some more dudes before finding this fucking thing looking like it just fell out of Miyazaki's Elden Ring, prompting you to beat the shit out of it, and rightfully
Guys,
so.
for anyone that played this game on PS5, were the frames bad for you guys at some point? There were some points where I was literally like playing at 15 frames. It was horrible. But other than that, it was good.
It tries to escape, then one of the sisters, who's actually the mysterious woman that you saw at the very beginning, pulls some Spider-Man shit and finishes the thing off, conveniently creating a nice little bridge for you. She asks you to tell her what it's like out there, beyond the mountains, before immediately walking off a cliff and not even allowing you to answer a question, which was maybe supposed to be rhetorical, I guess. Not that it matters, because you're literally a mute. You then stumble upon this underground little village, where a bunch of the sisters are hanging out talking about how they've finally readied Bajia for the feast. The one where he gets, like, eated out or something. We finally get introduced to the Violet Mother, who is now quite old, and in her human form she actually seems to age properly compared to Bajia, who just permanently has this look of adorable stuffed animal with severe anger issues. Then Bajia fights you, actually Spidusi whipped, mind you, and you have a good old tussle before he finally breaks free of it. Then he gets captured again, and you're like, nah, I've had enough of this shit. So you stop the old lady from eating your friend out, and then oh my god, there are spiders everywhere. There's spiders everywhere, Bajia!
Go! I can take care of myself.
Bro, how are you fine? There are spiders inside of you. You escape the cave, and now you're in some pretty mountains. Yay. Slaughtering countless bugs that get in your way as if...
Do you want me to worship you? Is that what you want, you ruthless leader? Okay.
They're nothing more than...
Guys, I'm a fair dictator. Okay? This isn't... I don't know.
Annoying distractions to be wiped off
I don't
the
know.
windshield. You obliterate the local Taoist bug population, and once again, before the final boss, can choose to enter the obsession of this chapter, which I'm gonna be honest, feels like it kinda has very little to do with the main plot. Allow me to explain. You fight this Venom Taoist guy, and then you enter a painting to embrace the past and, you know, play through this distant memory taking place on a mountain called Purple Cloud Mountain. There's a snake that allegedly lost her husband, and my god, the English dubbed voice actress does an incredible job here.
Young master.
Yo. Irvin, I cannot spare any more winter furs. I can do shelter for 1 moon. 1 moon! Let it be known that I was timed out for being a black man. The press will hear about this. Guys, one in the chat if Helios is a loser, bro. Just one in the chat if you guys think he's a loser from pulling the race card. What a weirdo. What a weirdo.
Please forgive my impropriety. I am but a widow, here to mourn my late husband.
So you carry on, meet some dudes, kill some other dudes, and then find this eldritch horror known as the Duskveil that explodes out of this giant heart-looking egg thing. Then the snake lady shows up, but she's in human form, kinda, sort of. So she's like a snake human lady.
Guys, hold on.
Egg thing.
Hold
then
on,
the snake
hold on.
lady shows up, but she's in human form.
I was getting criticism. I was getting criticism for this. I was getting criticism for this. You guys aren't seeing the vision. You aren't seeing the... X gets it. X gets it.
So she's like a snake human lady. She gives you this needle, which will help with the final boss of the chapter, and you carry on to your mission of, fighting basically a big old crab dude known as the 100-eyed Taoist. See, the violet spider was holding the relic this whole time, but the Taoist, wanting the power, just absorbs it from her, which, also absorbed her at the same time. He levels up like he just took one of Mario's mushrooms, then you fight him alongside the spider sisters. After you fuck his shit up, you get the relic, and, the violet spider doesn't make it. Bajia, who loved her, can't bear to watch and kind of just walks towards you and the relic as the violet spider's last words pierce his heart.
You haven't changed a bit.
This was so sad. This was so sad. This was like weirdly emotional.
If you recall, when we covered the past events in this region, this is just really tragic. Bajie, ever since he had interactions with the Violet Spider, since meeting Sun Wukong and joining him as a disciple under the Tang Monk, always chose to crack open a cold one with the boys instead of staying with the Violet Spider. He chose bros before hoes, and I'm sure part of him feels bad about it. Anyway, you, the Destined One, don't give a flying monkey shit because you just got the Envious Tongue Relic, and you're one step closer to completing your mission.
Is that what it was called?
Chapter 5 takes you to the Flaming
Chapter
Mountains
5's
as
final boss
Bajie
probably the
crashes
coolest
through
design
the
for a
woods
boss.
of Ember,
Yeah.
and together
that
you
was
and your
prob-
pigsy
that
companion
and
beat the
Attacker
ever-living
Vanguard
shit
are my
out of
favorite
some
design
more
bosses.
dudes that are like corpses.
I love how the chapters just begin like in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like,
As it turns out, this region is overwhelmed by these weird corpse guys and these coffin cards that are blocking the way up the path, burning everything. You meet the vanguard of the Bull King.
Oh!
After
Jahi, welcome to level 1. Wow. Guys, one in the chat if Helios is actually not a loser. Wow, no ones. Oh, there's one. Two. What? Fuck, man. Jahi, how did you sub and it's still 50-50 in the chat? I said one in the chat if Helios is actually not a loser. That's fucked up, bro. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. Oscar, what up, man? What up? Welcome.
After sparring with you for a second, realizes you're actually kind of based and tells you to go have a chit-chat with the Bull King. He implores that you fight your way up the mountain, conquering the 5 elemental carts, and so you do. Then you meet Ping Ping. She's the daughter of the now dead Fox Queen, which, if you recall, was slayed many years ago by Bajie with Sun Wukong. But for some reason, she's tied up here, and
we got beef in the chat.
Some floating heads show up, being some of the Red Boy's minions. And honestly, I gotta say, this fight was pretty awesome. It's really easy, but mostly just a goofy little fight, since they, as well as pretty much all of Red Boy's minions beyond the carts, are just really incompetent at their jobs. You free the fox, and both you and Bajie are
What will I be doing with the money they give you through memberships? Buying fishnet leggings and then going to a strip club.
Skeptical of her, knowing full well just how easy it is to shapeshift. To make matters even more awkward, this girl knows of Bajie and that he killed her mom.
I know who you are. My mother is Princess Fairfox. You killed her.
Dude doesn't even apologize, and this is made worse by his demeanor back when he did it all those years ago.
Wukong! I took out the bull's concubine with a whack of my rake too! Turned out, she was a fox squire!
So while Bajie is being a grump, hopefully considering his life choices,
it's not fruity if you know what you're doing. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Fox Y explains the situation in the mountain. Basically, while things were peaceful for a little bit, Red Boy decided, hey, I'm gonna start a coup and try and get the piece of Wukong from the Bull King, his father, and all the bad shit that's been happening ever since has basically been Red Boy's doing, using his Samadhi fire. And then you find the temple, just promptly disguising yourself as a golden cicada so you can kind of listen in on a conversation. Ping Ping begs for her fan so she can save her father. This guy is...
I said I will leave it at that!
Not actually Rakshasi. This is Bajie shapeshifted as her, trying to fuck with these two and kind of suss them out. See, the guy in the white robes is the keeper of the Flaming Mountains, responsible for fanning the flame as he was destined to do all those years ago. He secretly seems to be kind of in love with Rakshasi, and you can discover in the secret memory for the Japanese
Manga Mask, I don't answer questions, bro.
That he was a huge emotional support for her when Red Boy was initially born. The keeper tells Ping Ping to fuck off. Not sure what he did to her. And then Bajie blows his cover and you join in to help your friend battle the Twitter user. This fight is really fucking hard, but let me know in the comments below if you had a particularly difficult experience with this guy and his goddamn guzzling fish. So you beat him, continue on your path, and if you're anything like me, lose several brain cells on the way.
That was like the easiest fight in the game, I think, maybe.
What the fuck?
The chat wants you to strip type 1. Yo, fucking time. Just fucking timing.
What the? Oh! Oh!
And it's better than what he used to.
I
know the old one.
What?
I was getting pretty close to slamming Dumble onto my seed sack, but alas, I reached the end. Oh, hey, it's Ping Ping. Except wait, that's Red Boy disguised as Ping Ping, because I guess the real Ping Ping's just gone. Anyway, sussy Red Boy waves the fan, gets the fire out of the way. Bajie gets bodied by the fucking ball, and then you get a full view of Mr. Bull King.
3 in the chat if I should start an OnlyFans.
You approach Mr. Bull King, and he points out that the girl next to you is in fact not Ping Ping. Red Boy sheds his disguise and has an epic monologue, prompting you to commit child abuse. Except, oh wait, he's probably about like 200 years old by now or something. So does this count? You knock him the fuck out, and finally the Bull King reveals the really tragic truth. All this time, instead of consuming or trying to use the relic like all the other Yaogwai kings, the Bull King held it in his stomach, waiting for the day that may one day come where you, Sun Wukong's mind, would arrive to claim the relic without needing to face resistance. This might be the saddest animation that follows, essentially showing exactly what happened when the Bull King held Sun Wukong as the Monkey King died in his arms.
No, you don't have the body or face for it. Yo, Manga Maz, if you know my Twitter, if you know my Twitter, take a selfie and @ me on Twitter.
I see. For someone like me.
Just put a paper bag on it. It's all good. Guys, it's my fucking birthday tomorrow, bro. It's my fucking birthday tomorrow. And this is what you guys are doing to me?
Staying alive.
You guys should be ashamed. Ashamed.
Brother, take care of your wife and children. And remember, steer clear.
Mod me for your birthday. How would that benefit me on my birthday? Why don't I allow DMs on X? I do. I do.
Before he died, he gave one last piece of instruction, then turning back into his original form as the Stone Monkey. Wukong wanted his good friend to never fall victim to the power imbued in any of his 6 relics, and the Bull King, for the decades or even centuries that followed, made sure he never gave in, even though it was killing him. He just wanted to prevent the relic from getting into the hands of people like his own son, Red Boy, or worse. He starts to give it to you, but then Red Boy fucking, wakes back up, of course, because he was not dead, which the Bull King acknowledged a second ago, by the way, so I don't know why you need to just finish him off. And then you fight the Yaksha King, but ultimately kind of beat the shit out of him, and then you retrieve the 5th relic. But Rakshasi appears, begging you to spare her horribly and disfigured, power-hungry son. He is unchanging, with his strong resolve as the Yaksha King, essentially what seems to be a reincarnated version of the heavily oppressed people many years past. Red Boy, realizing the dead end he's arrived at, and failing to capture the relic and being smothered by dying but loving parents, decides to Alt F4, literally.
Oh my
With
God,
the 5
finally,
relics collected, the Destined One returns
Cole, much
to Mount
appreciated,
Fuego, home
dude.
of the Monkey King,
You don't know how
and,
much I needed that right now. I've been
of course,
getting
this last
harassed for
chapter
15
wasn't going to be
minutes.
easy. The gods know that you're coming back, and they sent a bunch of assholes from the Celestial Court to put you down. But I guess it wasn't enough, because eventually, after you break a few sweats, if you're as underleveled as I was at the time, you will get through it. This final chapter mainly revolves around a bit of an open world expanse, with still a shit ton of invisible walls, but at least you get the cool floating cloud that Sun Wukong had in the beginning. Yippee! As you explore around, you find a bunch of beasts, and upon killing them or solving their puzzle, each of them grant you a piece of Wukong's equipment, his armor basically. After you kill this deer thing, a rhino, take a fiery ride on a giant grasshopper, vored by Bajie to save him from a mantis that starts to give him some unwanted surgery from the inside out.
Okay, more.
I've never watched the Jujutsu
You finally
Kaisen
acquire the entire armor
episode
set.
of my life.
Now you
honestly.
really look like Wukong, but you're missing one crucial
heard it's
item.
good, though.
You meet Bajie behind the waterfall, where Wukong once enjoyed hanging out with his buddies all those
Oh,
years
so
ago.
now Cole is a bot. Now Cole is a bot, and that wasn't a real message, actually. Okay.
Where do you come from, outsider?
Yeah, X, it's not a bot.
All monkeys
It's
are
not a
sort of
bot.
face
Real
and
guy.
shape. Your face speaks of a different breed, and an ugly one. You must be a Yaogwai from another land.
Guys, I do not have a hidden Twitter account. He's fucking lying. Guys, one in the chat if he's a loser. One in the chat. One in the chat if Helios is a loser.
And now, I'd say you're ready. The Destined One arrives at the stone with Bajie after beating the shit out of a bunch of guys, or just running past them like I did. And upon touching it, you arrive inside of Wukong's memories, meeting the old monkey guy who takes you on a boat down memory lane. All is revealed. Well, sort of. Here's where I need to make an important disclaimer. If you just do the bare minimum here and follow exactly the path I've explained in the video so far for the Destined One, you inevitably will get the bad ending. In order to get the good or true ending, you need to finish
How do you
quest,
defeat
complete the
Scorpion
main
Lord?
story, and then
Luck. My dog is tripping. Okay, hold on. Come on. Bentley cameo for the people. For the people. I see what you and Isaac be doing behind closed doors. I don't know what that means. I have one pet.
And then you need to head over to the Grand Pagoda from Chapter 3, upon which you'll be able to do this secret fight with Erlang Shen. In it, you fight with the 4 heavenly kings and Erlang himself, essentially playing out what Wukong had done in the past, as this seems to be one of those kind of usual obsessions. One huge fucking kaiju battle later, Erlang realizes that Wukong ain't fucking around, gets a proper punch to the jaw, and then he opens his weird third eye and floods Wukong's memories out, giving you, the Destined One, those memories back, followed by this lovely little cutscene.
No prestige can shackle him. No band can keep him caged. A mortal death for an unbound mind and will. May you not...
Hey, Jahi, make sure you spell "and" right before you type in my chat. Alright?
Your journey, though, has just begun.
I'm sorry, Jai. My bad.
So with that said, what changes? Well, coming back to the inside of Wukong's memories, if you didn't do that cool kaiju battle and, get the actual memories from Erlang, then you progress through the calm boat ride and ultimately fight Stone Monkey, the final boss, except then he turns into the actual final boss, the Great Sage's broken shell. You defeat him and you win, but here's where the secret ending comes in. If you didn't get the memories, the old monkey does something rather ominous. The headband thing that basically prevented Wukong from truly being free falls into the water when his body disintegrates and the relics fully merge into you. The old monkey picks up the headband and places it on your head, thus imprisoning you, the Destined One, who has now become Wukong. Essentially, this has changed nothing. With you becoming Wukong, he basically just got subtracted from the equation and then added back in your place.
Cole, when this video is over, I think I still have the clip on my PS5 of how I beat him. I'll pull it up for you.
Followed by being, once again sealed against his will.
4 minutes.
Not exactly a satisfying ending. On the other hand, if you do get the memories before the old monkey puts the thing on your head, you'll
12 p.m. at night, what?
Open your eyes and remember a bunch of shit, though the scenes are played out of order, I guess, like in the reverse for some reason. Here's some of them in ascending order.
Bottoms up, brothers. One final toast before we crash the Celestial Palace.
PM. I don't. What is blood waffling about?
What does it matter if you become a Buddha? That headband has always been on your head.
The fate of the Destined One in the true ending isn't known, but in the bad ending, it's pretty obvious that you are trapped forever, and everything you just did was for nothing. Does this mean the old monkey was a fucking plant by the Celestial Court, or did he just, not realize what the headband did? Let me know in the comments below about that one. I've heard there are as many as 2 more endings, but I haven't seen those, so also, let me know if those are actually real or if they're just rumors. At the end of the day, the endings are still
more than 2 endings?
as are honestly a lot of the details about the story of Black Myth Wukong. Though, that said, I will be forever grateful to Game Science, the developers, for at least making it more coherent than the story of Elden Ring. Not that it's a high bar, that shit was cooked up in a meth lab at 3 a.m. But let's recap. The story of Black Myth Wukong is a kind of sequel and retelling of Journey to the West. Some things are a little different when comparing events to the original source material, and of course the majority of the game itself is very much building on the existing world established in the original mythology. As any adaptation of this type did. While I didn't read Journey to the West, Black Myth Wukong has given me the impression that it's beautifully respected the source material And from everything I've seen
Yo,
fans talk
what
about,
is-
they really
what is
did.
Wolf
Unlike
putting
Journey
in
to the
my
West,
chat right
this
now?
is Wukong's story. Not Tang monks, not Buddhas, and neither is it a story about the many celestial gods and the kings that are honestly fucking assholes. This is a story about a monkey that wanted to be free. A monkey that made mistakes. A monkey that
so you're
probably
right,
shouldn't
dude.
have
I'm a
been like
fucking
immortal
idiot. I
like
shouldn't ask
5
the chat. I
times
should
over. And
just
ultimately a
search it
monkey that
myself.
cared for people deep down as much as he had a kill count higher than you could probably process with your own monkey brain. Wukong's story isn't just about him though. It's about his friends, his journey, and you, the destined one. You complete
Remember,
that story
I
in one
would
way or
watch
another,
it.
and what happens next is kind
I
of up to game
would.
science. Guys, please give us a sequel. I don't care if it takes another 5 years. This is possibly the best video game I've ever played in my life, and I can confidently say that despite putting 52.5 hours into the game over the span of 5 days, this game fucking slaps. Write to me in the comments what you think about Black Myth Wukong. Have you played the game? If you're a Chinese player, what's it like to see such an important story brought to the gaming market and seeing the sheer wave of success that it's had in just 1 week? I want to know your thoughts. If you like this video, click that subscribe button right below because it really helps me out and allows me to continue making videos.
Type 1 if you think Isaac is an idiot. Of course, the only people that type 1 are Jahi and X. And now Keone. Your mod is getting taken away. It's over, bro. It's over. It's over. Apologize and I'll think about giving it back. Maybe. 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 Alright, let me pull up that, the Scorpion King fight. I hope I still have it. I just went through my media. Bro, I deleted it. Bro, there's no way. Oh my god. Lennox, you might be stuck on Scorpion King for another 5 hours, dude. I deleted it. How long am I streaming? I was gonna stream up until the football game tonight, so like 1 more hour. Dragon Age, Space Marine. I've heard good things about Space Marine. I don't know what Dragon Age is. I don't know what that is. At least thank you for tuning in. Thank you. As a Chinese player, how do you think Black Myth Wukong engaged the West with Buddhist mythos? This is a fucking pop quiz? Next question. Play 1 hour of Lies of P on stream? Dude, I haven't even bought it yet. Honestly. Worst boss in Wukong? Captain Y's voice. Easy. Easy. You guys want to see the gallery? Literally, it's all Spider-Man. Not gonna lie. It is literally all Spider-Man. I just replayed the story and then just screenshotted literally everything. You think it's Yellow Long? Yellow Long was hard, but he was like a good design boss, I think. Dude, is it really all? It's all Spider-Man. And a couple Ghosts of Tsushima. Have I played the new season of Fortnite? I'm almost at level 100. Jahi, you can't just donate your way into mod. Who liked it? Why does it have 2 likes? Rat King? Rat King, I just don't like rats, to be honest. He was easy to me, though. 4 likes! Oh my god. Please stop donating. Please. Yeah, what a loser. Silly guy. Alright, guys, what are we doing? Am I gonna cop the PS5 Pro? Hold on, bro. Let's just look up how much this shit is. Just $1,000. Just 1,000. Drop a number, 500. 500. Actually, you know what? Helios, you give me the George Pickens jersey that you just ordered. I'll mod you. The tier list? Yeah. Is there a tier list? Does anybody have a link to a tier list? Or is there one already? I be making bank? Not me. Not me. It's 1,200 where you are. Oh my god, man. Dude, I saw a video of like a side-by-side comparison. I think it literally almost looks worse. For some reason. It looked worse. Guys, is this tier list good? Am I on the right thing? Yeah. Should we do this real quick? Jesus Christ, Jahi. Yo, this is low-key a money glitch, I'm not gonna lie. Bro, I'm not giving you mod, man. I'm not giving you mod. Guys, new method? New method just dropped. I'm not gonna give you mod, bro. Okay, so do we want to do this? Do we want to do this by difficulty, or if I liked it, or not? I'm refunding? Buddy, get literally scammed. I'm not refunding shit. Okay, difficulty? Alright. Get literally scammed. Loser. Expect a call from my people. Alright, bro, you can have mod. Alright, guys, I gotta give a mod. You're getting the bum mod. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Guys, I wish we were on Twitch so that I could play actual music. I gotta play this lo-fi shit. Can't wait for him to pull up this clip of you saying get scammed when you blow up. Guys, that guy that I just modded is a piece of shit. I got shit on him too. Okay. This one, I don't remember this. Oh my god, you just gave him a fucking idea. God damn it. Low key, don't remember this one. Is that the frog? Don't go to Twitch? Twitch, you can play copyrighted music though. Okay, this is the... Where's the... Okay, I fought this one. I beat him first try. Oh my god, have I been running ads on this stream? Has anybody been getting an ad? God damn it, I didn't monetize it! Fuck! Fuck! Yo, you guys are about to get an ad real quick. Damn it! Yeah, fuck it. Install an ad blocker. Okay, Golden Eye Beast? Oh, man. I'm out? What? Guys, you gotta let me live. I can't be doing this shit for free much longer, bro. This one, I'll go here. This, guys, I'm about to speed run this. Yo, James wasn't fucking playing. He's really out. Black Long. That was average. That was average. Space Marines 2? Yo, how long is that campaign? Is that long? I was thinking about doing a series on it, but I don't know. Maybe if it goes on sale later, I'll stream it. Cause that did look pretty sick. Black Wind King, fucking easy. Easy. Brown Iron Cart, easy. Buddha's Right Hand, very easy. Bull Guard? Oh, that was easy. Easy. Oh, is the campaign multiplayer? I didn't know that. Lotus Vision. That was easy. Captain Wise Voice. So this one is hard because I think it was a poorly designed boss, which makes it hard. I'm gonna go difficult because I did struggle with that. Oh my god, we got somebody from Norway in here. What time is it in Norway, Thomas? Yo, Sam, good luck on that exam, bro. Good luck. Chen, I don't remember the centipede Guai. Chen Lun was easy. Actually, he was very, yeah, very easy. 1:30 a.m. Wow. Cloud treading deer. I'm not. He was kind of difficult. I'd put him B. Okay, we gotta actually hurry. Silver cart. Where'd I'm putting all the carts in easy. He was difficult. I remember him. Taoist. He was extremely easy. Dusk Veil. Who I got tonight? I got Cowboys, but knowing the Cowboys, they'll lose. They'll make sure to lose. But they should win pretty easy. Guys, I need a big game from CD Lamb. Big game from CD. Earthwolf, very easy. Elder Armor Worm, I don't remember. Elder Jinchi. Emerald Armantis, average. Fastest wind, that was easy. Dude, this is unbelievable how many bosses there were in this game. This is crazy. Father of Stones. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yeah, very easy. Didn't the Cowboys just have a game? Yeah, they played Sunday. They just got Thursday night. Have I played Sifu? Yes, I have. I didn't finish it. It might be on a channel if I didn't private it. If you want to go watch that. I think it should be there. My older videos are kind of ass though, so. Fair warning there. First Prince, easy. Yeah, Sifu was that was really difficult actually. The aging system was really good. I need to finish it actually. Wow. Forgot I didn't finish it. Flint Chief, don't remember. Flint Vanguard, don't remember. Erlang was very difficult. Fuban was average, I would say, just because he was huge and it was hard to hit. Don't remember. Didn't fight this. This was average. No, easy. Gore-eyed Taoist, very easy. Or easiest, whatever. All the cards are going here. I don't remember you. You were easy. I feel like I got lucky with him. I beat him first try, but I think he would have been average. Thoughts on State of Play? Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it because I was out of town. Yeah, the Ghost of Tsushima 2 was the only thing that I heard. Hundred-Eyed Taoist Master. That one? Without the needle, it would go S. With the needle, it's here. I'm going here. I'm going hardest. This was difficult. Dragon was difficult. Oh wait, no, this was average. She was difficult. Keeper of Flaming Mountains, very easy. I'm going second king and second prince, average difficulty. They gave me some trouble actually. Stone Monkey. Stone Monkey was easy. I don't think I've ever died to him. I'm skipping the frogs. Who cares about the frogs? Yellowbrow first encounter was easy. I beat him first try. This, I would go average difficulty because I remember thinking that should have been harder, I think. Even though I beat him first try. First encounter with the chief was easy. I go average difficulty when we were in his sack. Pause. Second encounter was easy. Mad Tiger was average. Yeah, average. Best boss in Ghost of Tsushima. Dude, honestly, I played that game so long ago, I really don't even remember the bosses. I couldn't even tell you. There was one. Oh, it was the final fight against Uncle. Oh wait, Mad Tiger is different from Tiger Vanguard's Secret. Never mind. That's easy. Man in Stone, easiest. Monk from the Sea. I'm gonna go difficult. I hate those enemy types. Mother of Stones. Why was this one hard? Why was Mother of Stones hard? I'll go average for that. Non-able, don't remember. What is that? Don't remember. Yellowbrow, second encounter. Difficult because it was annoying. Non-pure, don't remember. Non-void, don't remember. Non-white. Non-white was average. Old Ginsengwai. Don't remember that. Pale Axe Stout. Yep, that's the bull. Easiest. Poison Chief? How many did I miss out on? I feel like I fought all of them. Red Boy. Red Boy was actually difficult. He was harder than Yaksha King. To me. Rusty Gold card. Where did I put all the cards? Here. Scorpion Lord. Oh my god. Most difficult. I didn't even beat him on camera. square over and over, and he does the same move every time. I wish there was. I'm gonna rank S. I'll rank S. I think Scorpion Lord was the hardest boss of the entire game. I'll go Yellow Long, then Wukong, then 100, then Tiger, then Yin Tiger. That's it. What do we think, y'all? What do we think? Is this good? Dude, Erlang wasn't that hard to me. I don't know what it was. He was not that bad to me. It's cool. Thank you, Jai. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't fought any of these bottom ones. Bullguard, hardest boss in the game. Which one was the Bullguard? Oh, was that the one in chapter 1? You're tripping. That might be a skill issue. Guys, do I run a quick Fortnite? What do we think? Quick Fortnite before the NFL game. You could cheese yellow long with thrust stance. Really? I want to see how you do when you don't get carried. Okay. Yeah, I'll open up my party if anybody wants to join. How do I open it? How do I... Party join invite only. Looking for party. How do I just let anyone join? Hold on, let me look it up. Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out.
Video. Today I will show you how to make your Fortnite lobby either private or
Can you guys hear that? My bad. Guys, what the fuck? Can I not just make the... Can I not just make the lobby public? This is fucking crazy. We're running out of time. Okay. Yo, if you wanna play, if you wanna join, just send me a friend request. I'll add. Okay, fuck it, let's run. Alright, I got like one game in me. So this is do or die. about to witness the greatest Fortnite player ever to hold a controller. Just straight dominate. So just be prepared to witness greatness. Oh my god. Oh, we're pushing. Oh, we're pushing. Oh my god. Oh my god, it might be GG. I told you. I told you. Greatness at hand. Wait, did I get your card? Yeah, okay. Oh my god. It's over. It's over for me, bro. It's over. Listen, I got one. I got one. I got my one. It's okay. Guys, I only had one in me, I'm gonna be honest. Alright guys. I appreciate y'all coming out. Definitely appreciated. I don't know when I'm gonna be live next. I don't know when I'm gonna be live next. Hopefully soon. I need to start just firing up randomly. See what happens. Yeah, we are ass. Not gonna lie, we're ass. Alright guys. Keep it chicken pea. Stay safe out there. Appreciate y'all coming out. Goodbye. Goodbye.